Every journey of transformation begins with a single quiet realization. The awareness that something within you has been asleep. Most people live their lives like dreamers who never wake up. They move through familiar routines, repeating the same patterns, reacting to the same situations, and feeling the same emotions day after day. They call it life, but what it really is a program running on autopilot. Awareness is the moment you stop running that program and open your eyes to the truth of what you've been creating unconsciously. You see, every morning when you wake up, your brain replays the same thoughts you had yesterday. Those thoughts create the same emotions. Those emotions drive the same behaviors. And those behaviors produce the same outcomes. The moment you begin your day by checking your phone, revisiting old problems, or worrying about the future, you have already stepped back into the familiar past. The mind doesn't need new evidence to create your reality. It simply replays what it already knows. And without awareness, you keep living inside that loop, believing it's normal, believing it's just how life is. Awareness is not about judging yourself for where you are. It's about seeing clearly, maybe for the first time, that you've been the one holding the controls all along. When you become aware, you begin to watch your own thoughts without becoming them. You start to recognize how your emotions are not random. They are conditioned responses. You begin to notice how your body reacts before your mind even decides. The body remembers what the mind has rehearsed 1,000 times. When stress comes, your body tenses before you even think, "I'm stressed." That's how deeply ingrained your unconscious patterns are. But the very moment you notice that reaction, you are no longer trapped in it. You have become the observer, not the actor lost in the scene. That's the power of awareness. It gives you the ability to step outside your story and rewrite it. Most people wait for crisis to wake them up. They wait until the job falls apart, the relationship breaks, or their health collapses before they ask, "How did I get here?" But you don't have to wait for pain to awaken you. Awareness allows you to evolve by choice, not by suffering. When you start to observe your life as a reflection of your thoughts and emotions, something profound happens. You realize that you are not the victim of circumstance. You are the creator of it. Every situation that triggers you is showing you a part of yourself that still needs healing. Every person who frustrates you is a mirror of your inner state. Every disappointment, every delay, every challenge is a message from life asking, "Are you awake yet?" The moment you begin to watch those patterns, they start to lose their power. The old emotional loops, resentment, fear, doubt, can't survive under the light of awareness. They feed on your unconscious attention. Once you bring conscious presence into them, they dissolve. This is where the real transformation begins. Awareness is the gateway to freedom because you cannot change what you do not see. Becoming aware is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. It means catching yourself when your thoughts drift into the past or spiral into fear about the future. It means feeling the emotion rise in your body and choosing not to let it control you. It means pausing before you react, breathing before you speak, noticing before you act. Each time you do that, you reclaim your energy from the past and anchor yourself in the present moment. In that moment, you step into creation. The present moment is the only place where real change can occur, because it's the only place where you truly exist. The past exists only in memory. The future exists only in imagination. But the present is where awareness lives. When you become aware, you begin to sense the subtle difference between who you think you are and who you really are. The thinker, the observer, the consciousness behind the thoughts, that's your true self. And that self has never been broken, never been limited, never been defined by what happened to you. Awareness allows you to see beyond the story of your life into the truth of your being. It shows you that your thoughts are not facts, your emotions are not permanent, and your identity is not fixed. It gives you the power to choose again, to choose a new thought, a new feeling, a new response. Every time you choose awareness over reaction, you shift the trajectory of your life ever so slightly. Over time, those small shifts become transformation. The process can feel uncomfortable, because awareness brings light to the shadows. It forces you to confront the habits and beliefs you've been avoiding. But this discomfort is not punishment. It's the sensation of growth. It's your consciousness expanding beyond the limits of what it once believed. And as you expand, the world around you begins to change. You start to attract new experiences, new people, new opportunities that match your awakened state of being. Awareness is not a concept. It's a practice of presence. It's learning to be fully alive in this moment, to feel the air in your lungs, the energy moving through your body, the silence between your thoughts. It's remembering that life is happening through you, not to you. And every time you remember, you move one step closer to becoming the creator of your own reality. Everything in existence is energy. The space around you, the chair beneath you, the air you breathe. Even the thoughts running through your mind are all forms of vibrating energy. You are not simply a physical being having energetic moments. You are an energetic being expressing itself through physical form. Your entire life, every experience, every relationship, every opportunity that finds its way to you is drawn by the frequency of energy you are emitting. When you finally understand that, you stop seeing life as something that happens to you and begin to realize that it's responding to you. Most people live unaware of their energetic state. They wake up in the morning already plugged into the energy of the past. Their mind reaches for familiar thoughts. What went wrong yesterday? What might go wrong today? And before they've even left the bed, their body has already recreated the same emotional chemistry as the day before. Stress, frustration, worry, resentment, each emotion carries a specific vibration. And when you live in those emotions long enough, your body becomes addicted to them. Your cells learn the language of survival, and that becomes your energetic baseline. Without realizing it, you start the day broadcasting the same signal into the universe, the frequency of limitation. Your external reality simply mirrors that vibration. You meet people who irritate you in the same way, attract circumstances that frustrate you in the same pattern, and end up saying, "Why does this always happen to me?" The truth is, it happens because your energy hasn't changed. You can't receive new experiences while tuned into the same old frequency. If your emotional energy is set to the channel of fear, you'll keep attracting events that validate fear. If your energy vibrates with scarcity, you'll see lack everywhere. Life is not punishing you. It's simply matching your signal. To change your life, you must first change your energy. That doesn't mean forcing yourself to think positive thoughts. It means generating a genuine shift in your emotional state. Your emotions are the language of your body, and your body's vibration becomes the message you send to the universe. The moment you choose to elevate your emotions, to feel gratitude, compassion, or joy, you change your frequency. It's like tuning a radio to a higher channel. Suddenly, you begin to attract experiences, ideas, and people that exist at that higher vibration. The science behind this is both fascinating and empowering. Your heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, far more powerful than your brain's. When your thoughts are aligned with elevated emotions like love or appreciation, your heart and brain enter a state of coherence. In that state, your energy field becomes ordered and harmonious. The frequencies you emit are no longer chaotic. They're clear, intentional, magnetic. That coherence radiates beyond your body, influencing the energetic field around you. You become a living transmitter of the frequency you choose to hold. When you walk into a room, people can feel your energy before you say a single word. You felt it yourself. Some people instantly bring calm, warmth, and presence, while others seem to drain the space around them. That difference isn't in their words or actions. It's in their frequency. The energy they cultivate internally becomes their identity externally. When you maintain a high vibration consistently, you stop needing to chase what you want. You begin to attract it naturally because you're aligned with it vibrationally. But shifting your energy takes conscious practice. The body will resist because it's comfortable in the familiar emotions it has memorized. When you try to elevate your state, it might pull you back into old feelings of doubt or worry. That's the body craving its habitual emotional chemistry. You must train it like you would train a muscle, to feel elevated emotions without external reasons. You do this through repetition, presence, and intention. Each time you choose gratitude over frustration, calm over chaos, you recondition your body to a new emotional baseline. Visualization is a powerful way to amplify this shift. When you close your eyes and imagine a version of yourself living your desired life, don't just see it, feel it. Feel the emotions that version of you would feel. What would it feel like to already be there, to have the freedom, the peace, the fulfillment you desire. As you generate those emotions, your body begins to experience that reality chemically. The mind and body no longer know the difference between the imagined and the real. You start to emit the frequency of your future, rather than the frequency of your past. This is how energy becomes creation. The universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration. If you continue to say, "I want change," but your energy remains rooted in frustration, you're sending mixed signals. Wanting implies lack. But if you embody the feeling of already being changed, if you feel grateful, peaceful, whole, you're broadcasting a signal of completion. The universe matches that state by organizing circumstances, people, and opportunities that reflect your new energy. Your energy is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Every dream, every goal, every vision exists in the energetic field long before it becomes physical. When your energy aligns with that vision, reality begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Coincidences become guidance, timing becomes perfect, and what once felt impossible starts to unfold with ease. It's not luck, it's resonance. You have tuned your inner vibration to the frequency of your desired outcome. The practice of maintaining that frequency is what turns temporary change into lasting transformation. It's easy to feel elevated for a few minutes after meditation or inspiration. But the challenge is to live from that elevated state consistently. To wake up and consciously choose the vibration you want to carry into your day. To notice when your energy drops and gently bring it back into alignment. To make your internal world more real than your external circumstances. The more you practice this, the stronger your energetic signal becomes, and the more your outer world begins to reflect it. Your energy is your signature. It's the invisible language through which you communicate with life. When you learn to master that language, you no longer live by reaction, you live by creation. Every belief you hold today was once just a thought that you accepted as truth. From the moment you were born, your subconscious mind began recording every sound, word, image, and emotion it experienced. It didn't analyze or question, it simply absorbed. In those early years, your brain operated mostly in a theta state, a highly receptive state of hypnosis where everything you experienced became part of your inner program. You learned what love means by how it was given or withheld. You learned what success means by how it was modeled around you. You learned what you were capable of, what you were worthy of, and what you were allowed to become. Those lessons, whether empowering or limiting, became the software of your subconscious mind. As you grew older, you began to live according to that invisible script. The subconscious runs about 95% of your daily thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. That means most of your life is being created not by your conscious choices, but by the patterns you've rehearsed for years without awareness. You might consciously want abundance, love, or freedom, but if your subconscious program believes you're not enough, not capable, or not deserving, your energy will always align with that deeper belief. You'll keep repeating experiences that confirm the old story, not because you consciously choose them, but because your subconscious expects them. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. It only responds to repetition and emotion. That's why experiences that carry strong emotional energy imprint so deeply. When someone told you as a child that you wouldn't succeed, the words themselves didn't define you. The emotion that accompanied them did. If you felt shame or fear, the subconscious recorded that emotional vibration as truth. Later in life, when you face challenges or opportunities, that old emotional signature replays automatically, guiding your reactions before your conscious mind even has a chance to intervene. Reprogramming your subconscious means interrupting that automatic cycle. It means becoming aware of the story your inner voice keeps repeating and choosing to write a new one. But you can't change a belief just by thinking differently. You have to feel differently. The subconscious speaks the language of emotion. To change it, you must create new emotional experiences that are more powerful than the old ones. You must repeatedly generate the emotions of your desired future until your subconscious accepts them as familiar. This is where visualization becomes a tool of transformation. When you vividly imagine yourself living a new reality, when you can see it, hear it, and feel it as if it's already happening, you begin to install that experience in your subconscious. The neurons in your brain fire in new sequences, building new neural networks that represent this version of you. If you add genuine emotion to the image, gratitude, confidence, joy, the body begins to experience that imagined reality as real. Over time, the subconscious accepts it as the new baseline, and your external reality starts to rearrange itself to match that belief. The key is consistency. You cannot reprogram a lifetime of conditioning overnight. Just as the old beliefs were installed through repetition, the new ones require the same dedication. Every time you catch yourself reacting to life from an old belief, thinking you're not enough, fearing rejection, expecting failure, you have a choice. You can pause, breathe, and consciously replace that thought with a new one. At first, it may feel forced or unnatural, because your body is still addicted to the old emotional patterns. But with repetition, the new belief begins to take root. The body and mind are deeply interconnected. When you think a limiting thought, your body immediately generates the chemistry that matches it. Stress hormones, tension, a feeling of contraction. When you think an empowering thought, your body relaxes and expands. Over time, the body becomes conditioned to the emotions associated with your dominant beliefs. That's why change often feels uncomfortable. Your body is detoxing from the chemistry of the old identity. But if you remain present and breathe through that discomfort, you begin to teach your body what it feels like to live in the vibration of your new belief. Affirmations, gratitude practices, and meditation are not just mental exercises. They are methods of conditioning the subconscious. When you affirm something with genuine emotion, you create coherence between your conscious intention and your subconscious feeling. The emotion is what imprints the new pattern. For example, saying "I am worthy" means little if it's only words. But when you close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and truly feel the vibration of worthiness, your subconscious begins to believe it. The repetition of that feeling is what installs the new program. Your subconscious is loyal. It's designed to keep you safe by repeating what it knows. But safety and growth cannot exist in the same space. If your subconscious has learned to equate safety with smallness, it will resist your expansion. That resistance is not sabotage. It's protection. The moment you recognize it, you can thank it and re-educate it. You can show your subconscious that growth is not danger, that success is not threat, that love is not loss. You do this by maintaining the emotional frequency of your desired reality, even when your external circumstances haven't yet changed. When the old beliefs start to lose their charge, you'll feel a subtle shift. You'll respond differently to situations that used to trigger you. You'll notice opportunities that you once overlooked. You'll begin to act from the vibration of your new identity, rather than reacting from the wounds of your old one. This is the sign that your subconscious has begun to accept the new program. You're no longer trying to become someone. You're remembering who you've always been beneath the conditioning. The process of reprogramming your subconscious is an act of remembering, of returning to your natural state of wholeness. Each belief you release frees a fragment of energy that was once trapped in fear or limitation. As that energy returns to you, your vibration rises. You start to move through life, not from effort, but from alignment. And as your inner beliefs evolve, the outer world begins to reflect them with astonishing precision. There comes a moment in every person's journey when they realize that transformation isn't about fixing the past. It's about becoming something entirely new. You cannot create a new life from the emotional state that built the old one. You cannot move toward your future while vibrating with the energy of your history. Becoming begins the moment you stop identifying with who you have been and start emotionally rehearsing who you wish to be. The future version of you is not somewhere out there waiting to be found. It already exists in the quantum field, waiting for you to align with it. Every possible version of you, stronger, wiser, freer, more loving, already exists in the realm of potential. The question is, which one are you tuning into right now? Most people wake up and think from the past. They think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and perform the same actions. Those repeated patterns recreate the same version of self, over and over again. They might want change, they might even dream of transformation, but they continue to operate from the same identity that created their current reality. Becoming demands that you step outside that cycle. It requires that you start thinking, feeling, and acting from the vibration of your future self, not your familiar self. The moment you begin to feel your future before it physically happens, you begin to collapse time between where you are and where you wish to be. The process of becoming isn't logical, it's energetic. The old self is built on memories, habits, and emotions tied to the past. The new self is built on intention, awareness, and elevated emotion tied to the future. The bridge between the two is the present moment. When you wake up each morning and consciously choose to leave behind your old identity, you open the door to creation. You start asking yourself different questions. What does my future self think about today? How does that version of me walk, speak, and respond? What emotions does that version live in every single day? When you begin to align your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with that future identity, you begin to embody it. The body doesn't know the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. It only knows the emotion that accompanies it. When you repeatedly feel the emotions of your future, gratitude, freedom, abundance, your body begins to live as if that future is already happening. This is not wishful thinking, it's neuroplasticity in action. Every time you imagine a new version of yourself and emotionally experience that future, your brain rewires itself. New neural networks form, new pathways connect, and your internal map begins to change. You are literally programming your biology to match the energy of your future. When that becomes your dominant state of being, the external world has no choice but to respond. Your energy becomes a magnet for experiences that resonate with that new vibration. Opportunities align, synchronicities appear, people enter your life who reflect your new state of consciousness. It feels like magic, but it's actually coherence, your inner and outer worlds aligning through the language of energy. To become your future self, you must also learn to release the emotional signatures of your past. The past lives in your body as a vibration. Every resentment, disappointment, and regret carries an energetic charge that keeps you anchored in the old timeline. When you hold on to those emotions, you unconsciously recreate the same circumstances that keep validating them. To truly step into the future, you must let the past lose its grip on your energy. This means forgiving not because others deserve it, but because your future self does. It means letting go of what didn't work out, not because it didn't matter, but because carrying it prevents your evolution. As you start to become this new version of yourself, there will be resistance. The body, addicted to familiar emotions, will crave the past. The mind, conditioned by years of repetition, will whisper doubts. The people around you may not recognize who you're becoming, and may unconsciously pull you back toward who you were. This resistance is a sign that transformation is working. The old self is dissolving, and the new self is being born. You will feel discomfort because you're stepping into unknown energy, and the unknown feels unsafe to the ego. But in truth, the unknown is where all possibility exists. When you can relax into uncertainty with trust rather than fear, you merge with the field of creation. Becoming is not about chasing a future outcome. It's about embodying the state of being that aligns with it. The more you live in that energy, the more natural it feels. You begin to notice that the emotions of your future, joy, peace, freedom, no longer depend on external achievements. They arise from within. You realize that the external manifestations, success, abundance, relationships, are not the goal. They are the reflection of your internal evolution. You're no longer waiting for your reality to change so you can feel better. You feel better so your reality can change. Meditation, mindfulness, and stillness become the tools of your becoming. When you sit in silence and focus on your breath, you disconnect from the identity tied to time and space. You let go of the personality that has been built from past experiences, and you enter a field of pure potential. In that space, you can create without limitation. You can see yourself walking confidently through the world, speaking from truth, loving without fear, living with purpose. You can feel the warmth of gratitude in your chest as if it's already done. That elevated emotion is the key. It's what imprints the future into your nervous system. Each day you practice this, you reinforce the new identity. You catch yourself when you slip into old thought patterns and gently return to your higher energy. You start to respond rather than react. You notice that opportunities begin to unfold more naturally. You find yourself in moments that feel familiar in a new way, almost as if your future self had already lived them. That's because it has. In the field of potential, time is non-linear. The moment you fully embody your future emotionally, that reality begins to exist now. You're not waiting for it. You're tuning into it. Becoming is remembering the truth that you are not separate from the future you desire. You are simply aligning your energy to meet it. It's a process of surrendering the old story and breathing life into a new one. Every thought, every choice, every emotion you cultivate either reinforces the old identity or gives energy to the new. The more consistently you choose from the vibration of your future self, the more effortlessly life begins to mirror it back to you. And in that alignment, you realize that becoming isn't something you do, it's something you allow.